you see people lying about specs a lot when it comes to amplifier power ratings, especially like, not the stuff that we're usually accustomed to dealing with where we know about RMS, but that peak power inflation, because there's a giant contest about who can put the number, which is complete BS. Yeah. And a lot of people get suckered into that.
Yeah, it became a number race without people understanding what any of the 0.5 of a difference really means. So they're making decisions on a 0.5, but not knowing really what it translates to, real life experience, or what's going on to inflate the numbers.
And can't even hear that difference. Sometimes we see measurement difference, but our ears aren't even that perceptual. We don't have the ability to hear that.
How about the assumption that we're all just like always just perfectly rational all the time? Like all humans, all we do is like we're always just logical the whole time and always make the most logical decision. And you know what? Maybe I don't like Ravel speakers because I don't know if it's Revel or Ravel, and I just don't like the name. Does that make any sense?
If you always make irrational decisions, then that means all of them are rational.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, isn't that okay for me to make that decision? I like the way Focal sounds better because the name sounds cooler. Who cares? Like, I think the data is awesome. Measurements are awesome. Being able to, if you want to look at the data and make those comparisons, I think that's awesome. I think to tell people that they're silly for wanting something else, I don't know. I don't know that that's what he's doing, and I think the issue is more that other people on that site are kind of saying that, and I don't think it's always him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Other people, they're just stirring things up based on what their perception of it is, rather than maybe spending some time to understand what the data reflects. So what they're doing is, like I was mentioning in chat the other day, is they're projecting something onto what they see, and then that filter becomes the source or the noise that's created in conversation. It's not really what's going on, but it catches on, and then other people just throw it around, and then you have this problem.
Herd mentality is a real thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think the data should also be, primarily to call out a lot of the manufacturers,
keep them honest. Yeah,
to keep them honest. I think that's probably what the community should focus on. If you get data from Amir or from Aaron or Joe, let that be maybe a benchmark for what you expect from a particular manufacturer versus, using it as data against somebody else who's just trying to enjoy, those products, just like you. Focus all that energy on the manufacturer. If there's something Amir says about a particular speaker that you don't like, then maybe channel that to find a way to channel it towards that manufacturer saying, can you dispute this? Can you correct this? And that way we're not, turning all that energy towards the HiFi community and just creating unnecessary divides.
I think the different choices that everybody makes is what makes it kind of fun.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm sure if we look at everybody here, who has the same exact car? Anybody here have the same exact car?
I can't go on.
You have the Chevrolet.
We all have this car, right?
Chevy legs.
Mine is not fancy.
Chevrolet legs. We all have different cars. Like if there was the best car, then we'd probably start converging and getting all the same car.
Chana is not here. He has the best car.
Preach, Joe.
That plaid is looking pretty crazy.
I don't know. I might be full of crap. Who knows?
Stuff in this show would not exist.
Yeah, we're all just learning. We're just trying to keep it fun. What we're doing and just hanging out. This is fun. I think this is what it's all about.
Yeah, the community. I have said this so many times with comments, is like the community built around a hobby, this hobby, the positive community. Let me just emphasize that. Sure. The encouraging, the welcoming, the positive, the informative, that part of this community makes sharing music and enjoying music like a whole other level. So finding like-minded with the interest, they could like different music, they can like different gear, they can have a choice for how they enjoy sounds. It could be from a different source, a different type of whatever it is, all that. But coming together to share the enjoyment of music and just the enjoyment of community, that's the most amazing part. Even about what HiFi Summit's done is brought so many people together to share in this kind of passion. It's amazing.
And I appreciate differences of opinions and thoughts, regardless if I agree or disagree, because no matter what, I always learn at least a different perspective or view from that.
Oh man, how boring would it be if we all agreed back there?
Yeah, pretty boring.
All we do is argue back there. No.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
If we all agreed, the conversation would be 5 seconds long, and then that would be it.
Yeah, okay, bye.
I mean, Joe will tell you, Chana, myself, Aaron, there are a lot of times we have differences of opinions on different things, whether it's audio, whether it's life. But we still are able to completely respect each other's decisions, respect each other's opinions and their stance on different things. I am 100% cool if you want to believe a different way than I do, or like a different speaker or an amplifier. It's not about me kind of showing you what is the way or the best. It's like, if that works for you, man, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If you're totally cool with the sound bar, go for it. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to get you over to the JTR subs. I'm not trying to get you over to separates or whatever.
Are you sure though?
Yeah. You gotta figure out.
I'm not trying, but if you do, you'll be here.
Okay, so
the joy on my face. You think this joy on my face doesn't say you need some of these?
So having said all this, what did you say the other day, Kanga? Kumbaya or something like that? Anyway, like after saying all that, let's say, Michael, if somebody told you the sub on the soundbar is just as good as your JTRs, it probably it's the same thing. Yeah, would you be like, all right?
No.
I mean, are you going to be like, yeah, difference in opinion? Or are you going to be like, no?
That's where the data
At what point do you draw the line and say, no, that is not true?
That's where the data comes in.
That is not true.
I mean,
you don't care? You're just going to let them slide on that?
Honestly, I don't care. I mean, at that
you
point,
just don't care.
Here's the thing: sometimes people have already made up their mind, and there's nothing that you're going to say. All right, all right. I know we always poke fun at it, but take the guy that has the Bose system that tries to convince you that his little cubes are amazing, and that little Bose bass module.
Yeah, Reginald, the system Reginald showed us today, right?
It's like it shakes my whole house, and the dishes are, and I'm like, okay. I mean, there's nothing that I'm going to tell you.
You got to think of it this way. He or she, when they say that they may be correct in the fact that they're enjoying their experience as much as you are with your JTR setup.
Right. And that's why I don't have to convince them otherwise, and so that's okay.
Now wait, Michael, there are some truths. There are some truths in audio.
All right. So here's the difference.
This guy says this.
So if somebody
see, when Michael's talking, it's just wrong. That's
here's the thing. Here's the difference. If somebody says, "I love my system and it's a 10-inch subwoofer and it shakes my house," and dude, rock on, man. I'm happy for you. I'm not going to convince you that you need a 24-inch subwoofer. Now, the difference is when somebody says, man, I got this 8-inch subwoofer. It hits 136 dB at 8 hertz. I'm going to tell them they're full of crap because it ain't happening.
See?
Okay? I wouldn't say what is yeah, the other one, the E-Rod, I wouldn't go that extreme, but I would tell them they're full of crap. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What if it was a
technology, right?
So to me, that's the difference between correcting somebody that is wrong with something that is absolutely proven versus somebody that says this system is enough for me. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. If it's enough for
what if that person was not just the normal person, but what if it was a reviewer with like 500,000 subscribers and he said that? Now
and he said, like, give me an example.
Said exactly what you said. Like this thing can hit down the ear and
I'd tell him
making claims that are
I'll say, show me the, and here's where I would say, show me the data, because that you can show the data. You're not going to be able to produce that. And so I don't care what your subjectivity is. You can't say something specific like that and not be able to back it up because they had to come up with that number somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See, even you're the guy who like talks about measurement. Well, lately you've been talking more about measurements, but usually you're the subjective, and even you have your line of like, nah, that's not true.
Absolutely.
To get a true SPL takes a lot of displacement, a lot of power, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of acoustic knowledge.
Yeah.
Like that's an argument I think we've all seen before. Oh, this is so loud. How loud is loud?
Right.
Like you got perceivable loudness and you've got actual SPL loudness. You take a 1 kilohertz tone to your ear, it's going to hurt you 100 times worse than a 130 decibel dB bass car, just because of the way perceived loudness versus actual SPL tends to work.
Yeah, that's where that understanding is important when there's a discussion about things. Is Youthman's right. Like when you're talking about how much you enjoy something, that's a qualitative property. But when you're talking about SPL, that's a quantitative property. That's two different discussions. And when you can't differentiate the two of them, that's a wasted conversation. You need to know which side of those two topics you're on and stop mixing them up, because it's not a debate. You just got to know which one you're on,
Yeah. And
Yeah,
measurements
I haven't been to Michael's house, and so I haven't heard the JTR system. But when he says that it's loud, I'm not even sure what that means. Like, what's his level of what is loud?
right?
Because if I go there and I'm like, dang, that's what you meant? That's crazy.
So
that's crazy loud.
So the simple question is, have you ever had your organs rearranged?
No.
If you haven't, then you haven't experienced loud then.
So you're telling us
Real
that you were in the front of the line when they were buying out toilet paper because of the system.
Organs rearranged. That's how we're
Like
rolling.
you're like, dadgum, where did my liver go? Okay, it's over there.
That's like that chocolatey bottoms, huh? You measure SPL off of your organ movement.
I ever meet
5 millimeters to the left.
Roll the chocolate comment, brother.
Yeah, you feel my heart and be like, oh wait, shit, it's over here.
Measurements back up or can back up your perceived perception as well. Right. It can just confirm your findings, for sure.
Evil squirrels eat cables.
Somebody saw.
You got a fundamental understanding of how things work, the better off you're going to be in the long run, just how much time and energy and stuff you want to invest in it.
Let's see. What is it? True voice of reason. I must say though, my old STA7 pushing 10-inch rebuilt Optimus 30s would shake the walls of his old house with 10 watts. Not say they dug super deep, but it did shake.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I had dual 10s. That was my first one, and absolutely loved it. I had a small room, had a small home, and it was a Techniques 10-inch, and then a mid-range driver and a tweeter. Heck yeah, it would slam. I mean, there's stuff in the room that would shake, but you go to Life of Bliss's house, he's got those massive 24-inch, and
that's what I'm saying. Like, what does his system sound like now?
Yeah. I went to a guy's house that he had, at that time, he had 18
air moved in and out of your lungs involuntarily.
I got a story for that. It's more car audio, because those guys, no offense to any of them, I think they're all amazing, but they're a next level crazy because it's a small enclosed space with super tight SPL types of things. So I was at an old company. This is in the 90s when I was going to audio shows, and they had a demo of their amps running at like half on load, running 9 18s in a room, doing 11 hertz, and they narrowed the doorway, and when you walk through the doorway, it would like push your whole body back and forth because of the air pressure.
Air tricks. Yeah. I still mess with car audio too, and I'm part of that community as well. And the SPL levels you can hit in the car with some of the systems and power nowadays.
Yeah,
it's like so. I'm actually in a pissing contest with a car audio guy now about what I can hit in my room.
Yeah, it's a whole other level to do it. Like, if you can get that in like a living space, now I know there's some really massive, powerful subs out there, but if you can get that in a living space, like I can get that at a concert. Yeah. But a concert's got like 30 subs, 30 18s, and a big, but
yeah, I've only experienced that like one time in a home theater and it was just crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. But like I said, he had power sound audio. I think he had some SVS subs. He had JTR. It was kind of a mix match thing. But he was hitting some I had earplugs in, and it was a crazy, like, I cannot believe I'm feeling this. I mean, you would never like listen to a movie. You know, he gets a lot of flack for that. Like, this is stupid, but that's what he enjoys. You know, he enjoys having enormous amount of headroom. So when he's watching a movie, and that Super 8 train just blows up, and it's crazy, and it's destroying his whole house. The house is physically being destroyed.
Yeah.
I've seen his videos of upstairs where literally stuff is walking off of, you know, his cabinets and things. And it's like, that's insane, man. It's
amazing.
It's an immense amount of pressurization in that room. So
that's what you call full immersion.
Yeah,
it's a video like you're watching Twister, and all of a sudden the sound system's so immersive it actually blows your windows out.
Yeah, you're like, holy crap, it's here. You know,
it's real.